Who asked for this? I don't remember a time before bounce castles. Sure, they must be from somewhere, but does anyone know? When I think of the car, I think of Ford, but there's no glory here. Who invented them and why? Couldn't tell you. But yet to this very day, there are people whose entire livelihoods currently involve renting out medieval houses you can jump on to strangers for birthday parties. Bouncy castles, bounce houses, inflatable castles if you want to use their government name. Quietly snuck their way into all of our childhood memories. They slowly, without question, spread to every corner of the country. And I'm here to ask the question no other journalist, despite numerous, very detailed voicemails, will answer. What the are bounce castles? Today we're going to deep dive, in the shallowest sense of the term, into one of my favorite unquestioned public acts of absurdity, the existence of bounce castles. In every city, there's a storefront you pass by and think to yourself, how the hell are they still in business? They seem to only sell train sets or pigeon feed or mattresses, and yet they're still making rent. As American towns transform into a Sims preset, where every downtown selects one of 5 gas station, Walmart, Dollar General combo sets from the catalog and calls it a culture, these stores fight back and make you proudly wonder, how are they making any money? The other day I passed by a sign stuck in a yard like it was running for Congress, but where the empty promises usually go, instead was a phone number. And above that phone number, the magical words, "We rent bouncy castle." Beautiful. A work of art, no notes. Here is a man with one asset. And sure, we've accepted them as a fact in our society, but maybe it's time we take a step back. Your kid's turning 5, your pride and joy. You swore you wouldn't tell people you feel like a new person when they were born, and you wouldn't say, "I've never felt a love like this before," but you did. They're your everything. And your everything deserves just that for their birthday, for their memories. So, you call a guy, and that guy shows up in your backyard of your home, and he spends 20 minutes blowing air into a canvas to make a closed-in medieval structure in the back of your suburban home. He makes his money by owning this canvas, guarding the canvas, and for a few hours, he'll let a sea of kids and a few over-enthusiastic adults bounce on his canvas castle. You know, like the kings of yesteryear did. For this man, the canvas provides and the canvas takes. Isn't that amazing? Just perfectly absurd that amongst it all, this exists. As I drove further down the road of the "We Rent Bouncy Castle" sign, I came across a Little League field. And against the fence, a sign proudly announced the title sponsor. Another, entirely different bounce castle rental. In this small town of 20,000 or so, there was not one, but 2 companies in the oversized air mattress business. Entire enterprises, payrolls, employees, livelihoods on the line, based around giving families something to bounce on for a weekend at a kid's birthday party. I love silliness taken seriously. But I still haven't answered the how or why, so we'll get to that. It partially starts at John Scurlock in 1958, who was covering up tennis courts with this inflatable tent. And he noticed his employees would start to jump on it and have a good time. So, a plastic specialist who worked for NASA, John expanded the idea over the next years into spacewalk. And spacewalk was used by Hollywood stuntmen and firefighters on high-rises. And here's where reports conflict. Some say Scurlock and his wife Frances made it into a house form a decade later. But around the same time, some say Bob Rager in 1968 brought us the castle structure we know and allegedly love. Either way, if Bob wasn't first, he apparently got rich enough off the bouncy castle to afford at least 226 cars. Beyond that, though, there's not much else. The story passes on to indoor amusement parks. And honestly, I like it that way. The less we know, the better. I don't think we need an overly detailed story of its origin. I like that the Wikipedia instead spends half of its article documenting every single death occurring from a bounce castle, including time and place. It's kind of the not knowing that's the fun of it. I mean, why are we interested in bounce castles? You clicked on this video at the end of the day. It's probably nostalgia, but for us to be nostalgic about something, it has to exist. And I'm the kid going, why, until their parents give up and say, because I said so. But there's no one here to say because I said so. So I still get to have fun with the question, why? And I think that's the video. Isn't it great that there are things in this world that seemingly defy reason and are purely there for the hell of it? No one needed this. I cannot emphasize that enough. But somehow, a guy 60 years ago was trying to cover up a tennis court, and now we're defying gravity at barbecues. It's the noticing that's fun to me. Even the things you've taken for granted for 20 plus years can creep back into view, fill you with pure confusion at their own existence, and carry on anyway. None of it makes sense, but every once in a while, that's the beauty of it. So here's to the places we pay attention. Here's to the existence of the bouncy castle. Thanks for watching.